I'm going to start by just giving you a short background about P4C and my own introduction to P4C. I first received my first training. The first time I trained was in London, in Galleon's Primary School, which is a school that is in a rather impoverished area of London. Okay? It is a school wherein most of the students are recent immigrants, okay? Or their parents are immigrants to England. It's a school where, I don't remember the exact number, but something like more than 20 or maybe even 30 first languages are spoken other than English. So this means that these are students who do not speak English at home. Okay, they are a school where there are many students who are on the list on the list of at-risk students because of various problems in the home, because of problems with poverty and things like that. And yet, despite all of these forces which seem to be going against the students, it's also a very, very successful school. Okay, for many, many reasons. Okay, they have an incredible creative program. They have an incredible arts program. Of course, they have excellent teachers. But if you ask the teachers why they think that they're such a successful school, they will say that one of the reasons is because they have a philosophy for children program, and all of their teachers are trained in philosophy for children. In this particular school, philosophy is actually a scheduled subject once a week. But the practice of philosophy for children is not just done in that once a week class, okay? But it is also incorporated into the other classes that the students do. What really struck me when I received my training there is that my trainer was telling me that aside from the expected positive outcomes of P4C, which were improved reading, improved English skills, improved language skills, improved critical thinking skills, what struck me was when she said that it also improved the playground, in the sense that there were less fights in the playground, there were less arguments, less bullying. And when the students were asked about this, one of the realizations that one child said was, I learned from P4C, from our philosophy class, that you can actually disagree with someone even if you don't like them. So P4C doesn't just inculcate critical thinking or classroom skills, but it also really teaches students to get along better, okay? More ethical skills. What is P4C? Okay, P4C is the abbreviation for the phrase philosophy for children. And philosophy for children is usually traced to this man, Matthew Lipman, who believed, despite the criticism of the people around him, that philosophy could be taught to children. Okay? He was a philosophy professor, and he felt that children were naturally philosophical. And if those of you who work with young children, I'm sure you know that. No? Young children do ask very profound questions. I remember my son at the age of 5. I have two boys. My older son at the age of 5 was asking me where the end of the world is, and I said there's no end of the world. And he reaches the conclusion by himself. So does that mean that the world will go on forever? Okay, is that why the world is round? Okay, so on his own accord, he reached certain conclusions about the end of the world, and the shape of the world as well, okay, simply by thinking on his own at the age of 5. So philosophy for children, therefore, was Matthew Lipman's attempt to introduce philosophy to children from a very, very young age, from 5 years old even, from preschool age. In fact, there are philosophy for children practitioners who've done P4C with even younger kids, 3 or 4 kids who are just learning how to talk, all the way up to adolescence, all the way up to high school. And he did not necessarily want to teach them the history of philosophical thought. Rather, what he wanted to do was to teach them how to think. Okay? And so he actually developed a whole curriculum, okay, and wrote some books for children of varying ages. And because of his efforts P4C has grown really as a global movement, as you can see from our guests here. No? So we have P4C networks, not just in Asia and Pacific, but we have P4C networks in the UK, all around Europe, in Australia and New Zealand, okay, and really all over the world. And what it has developed into is really a family of pedagogical methods, okay? A family of pedagogical methods wherein the teacher acts as a facilitator who tries to encourage both dialogical discussion within the group, but geared towards critical thinking, okay? And most of the P4C practitioners, especially those who do P4C within schools, will say that the ideal outcome of P4C is that the class becomes what they call a community of inquiry. Okay, so a community of friends, of peers, of classmates who feel safe with each other to discuss profound questions, to share their ideas, to speak out, but also to disagree and to challenge each other's ideas as well.